This is the last lesson on percent. In this one, we know the percent and we know the part, and we're trying to find out the whole. We're trying to find out the value of this whole square. Okay. We're going to use the same principles we did before. We're going to figure out the value of a unit. Sometimes we may also figure out the value of a column. I'm going to do it because some of you may find that helpful. You can do it just with the value of a unit. All right, let's jump in. 7% of something is 42. Well, what do we know? We know that we are dealing with 7%. So I'm going to color in 7 squares. Okay. There is 7%. And what do I know about that 7%? I know that these 7 squares are worth 42. Right? If 7 squares are worth 42, how much is 1 square worth? In this case, we're going to find the value of the unit. We're going to take the 42, the total value, divided by how many squares it's the value for. And I'm going to get the fact that the value of 1 unit is 6. Well, if every one of those units is worth 6, and there are 100 units in it, how much is the whole thing worth? The whole thing is worth 600, or 6 times 100, and that's my answer over here. This answer is the value of 1 complete square. That's what we're trying to find. Right? Let's try another one. We're going to have to change the value on each of these. So let's think. What do I know now? I know that I have 40%. So let's continue coloring here. Okay. I have 40% colored in. So what I know is that I have 4 columns, or I have 40 little blocks. This is where we can do both of them. We'll do both so that whichever one seems more comfortable to you, makes the most sense to you, you can do. Okay. In either case, I'm going to do, well, this whole thing, this whole green shaded thing, is worth 92. So I have to figure out how much each one is worth. Well, I can do here 92 divided by 4, because there are 4 columns, so I want to know how much one is worth. Or if I want to do the units, I can do 92 divided by 40, because there are 40 little units. They'll both give you the same answer, not here, but they'll give you the same answer for the value. Let's do this one because it's easier. 4 into 92, 8, 12, 23. That's going to give me 23. And so I know that if I did this other one, which you're welcome to do with your calculator check, I know I would come out with 2.3. So what do I know? I know that the value of each column is 23. I know that the value of each square is 2.3. I can use either one to figure out the total value of the thing. I can do 23, the value of 1 column, times 10, how many columns there are, which will give me 230. Or I can do 2.3, the value of 1 square, times 100, how many little squares there are, which will give me 230. In both cases, I'm going to get the same answer, ultimate answer, which means that the value of this entire block is 230, and that's my answer. That's what I'm trying to find out. What is the value of the entire block? All right? Now, we've got one more to go. What happens when I have more than a whole block colored in? Our old numbers, we don't need them anymore. Okay. What do I know now? I have 125%, so I'm going to have to color in this entire block. I'm going to have to bring out another block. And I'm going to have to color in 25 there. So there I have 125%. What do I know? I know the value of this whole green shaded part. This plus this whole thing together has a value of, that's kind of a messy 7, of 75. Right? What do I want to know? What's the value of this one block? Right? But we're still going to do the same thing. How many units do I have altogether? 125. So I'm going to take my value, 75, divided by my number of units. Right? And you can take your calculator and do that. I'm going to cheat and make it into a fraction, which I can easily reduce by 25 and get 3/5, which I know is equal to 0.6. So therefore, and if you do that on your calculator, I promise you you'll get the same answer, 0.6. The value of each unit is 0.6. Okay? Now, what do I want to know? I want to know the value of this top piece. I want to know the value of these 100 cubes. So just like I've always done, I'm going to take the value of a unit times 100. And I am going to get 60. That means the value of this top part, this top colored square is 60. Does that make sense? If this is 60, and so we've got about a little more of this colored, 75. Sounds like it because it's a logical answer. And so I'm going to put my answer over here. 125% of 60, this first block, is 75.